Hey everyone, and in this video I'm going to be giving you 5 scientifically proven psychological mind tricks that retail stores both online and offline use to make you spend more money. Now, some of these tricks work by making it more likely that customers who actually walk into the store will purchase something rather than just walk away. And other strategies work by making customers spend more money by tricking them into paying higher prices. And in this video, not only will I be explaining how these psychological mind tricks work, but if you are watching this and you have your own online store, I'm also going to be giving you tips on how you can implement them as well. All right, on to the first one. 1. They price one product absurdly high and expect no one to buy it. So I live in Christchurch, New Zealand, hence my funny accent, and here we have a restaurant. It's a nice restaurant, it's not fine dining, but it's pretty nice. And whenever I go there to eat, I always like to look at the wine menu because they have some absurdly priced wines. Now tell me if this has ever happened to you. You'll be browsing the wine menu and then bizarrely you'll see one bottle that costs $3,000, which is more than 10 times the cost of the next most expensive bottle on the list. Well, whenever I see this, I like to show it to my friends for fun because they pretty much always exclaim, "Who on earth is buying that? This is not a Michelin star restaurant." And that's a good question, and the truth is that probably no one is buying it. It's most likely there for show and also to make you pay higher prices for the other bottles of wine on the menu. This is a tactic used by menu engineers, and it's actually a twist on something called price anchoring, and a fun experiment can show us this in action. A team of researchers led by Drazen Prelek, a professor at MIT, decided to hold a mock auction. He gathered together a group of 55 MIT students and then held up a bottle of wine. "Look at this lovely 1998 Côte de Rhône Joe Billet Parallel," he said. "It's received 86 points from Wine Inspector, with flavors of red berry, black chocolate, and mocha. This is a medium intensity, nicely balanced wine. Absolutely delightful. Only 8,100 cases made." After making his pitch to the students, he then held up another bottle of wine and gushed about it. And after that, he held up a cordless keyboard and mouse and a pound of Belgian chocolates and a design book and pitched their wonders to the students. When the pitch was over, he handed a piece of paper to each student that listed the items for sale. He said, "I want you to write the last 2 digits of your social security number at the top of the page. Then write those same 2 digits next to each item for sale in the form of a price. So if the last 2 digits of your social security is 35, write $35 next to each item. When you've done that, write yes or no next to each item whether you'd be willing to pay that price for them." When the students were done with that, he said, "Okay, now write down the maximum price you would pay for each item next to it." When finished, the students were shocked to discover that their social security numbers had influenced their maximum bid price. Students with social security numbers ending in the upper 20% placed bids between 216 to 346% higher than students whose social security numbers ended in the lower 20%. Without even realizing it, those with high social security numbers had been subconsciously using it as an anchor for being able to figure out what price they would be willing to pay. You see, pricing is subjective. If I show you this bottle of wine, you probably don't know how much it's worth unless you know a lot about the brand. So for most people, if you see this on the menu, the way that you figure out how much you're actually willing to pay for it is you look at the cost of the other bottles of wine on there. And so when you see the $3,000 bottle of wine, this $100 bottle of wine doesn't look so bad. So how can you implement this tactic in your store? Well, one thing you can do is you can add premium priced products even if you don't expect people to actually buy them. So let's say you've got a print-on-demand store and you're selling leggings. Well, perhaps you created some new limited edition, limited print run space leggings. Well, because of the fact that they are limited edition special print run leggings, you can realistically hike up the prices of them so that your other normal leggings look cheaper in comparison, even if no one will actually buy them. 2, they give new customers coupons to trick them into being happy. These days, it can be harder and harder for new stores to launch and get customers in, and that's because increasingly, shoppers are becoming more and more skeptical about advertisements. In 2012, the Nielsen's Global Trust in Advertising report surveyed 28,000 people and asked them, what forms of advertising do you trust? 92% said that they trust friends and family recommendations. 70% said that they trust online consumer reviews. But online video ads, just 36% trusted them. It's a chicken or the egg situation. To get customers in, they need reviews and recommendations. But to get reviews and recommendations, they need to actually have customers come in first. But don't worry, stores have tactics to overcome this problem, and one of them is coupons. Yes, coupons. So why coupons? Well, as science has shown, coupons can actually change the chemical balance of our brains and trick us into feeling happy so that we can overcome our initial skepticism. In 2012, a study by Dr. Paul J. Zak looked at how coupons impact our happiness, stress, and health. He split the test subjects into two groups. Group A received a $10 discount coupon, and Group B did not. Group A experienced a 38% rise in oxytocin levels and rated themselves as being 11% happier than Group B, who did not get a coupon. But that's not all. He also noticed that Group A's respiration rates dropped by 32% and their heart rates decreased by 5%. Receiving the coupon made them feel more relaxed and less stressed. Giving new customers a coupon takes them from a skeptical mindset into one where they are more relaxed and happy. And as science has shown, this has an impact on impacting shoppers' buying behavior and making them spend more. In 2013, a global survey of over 10,000 people by Retail Me Not revealed that 51% of consumers admitted that they were influenced when presented with deals, discounts, and coupons when shopping online. And statistics revealed from VoucherCloud back this up. 57% of new shoppers in a store become motivated to complete their purchase so that they can redeem a coupon. So how can you implement this if you own your own online store? Simple. Create a one-off discount coupon code and then add a pop-up to your store that offers it to new customers in exchange for their email address. One of the most effective Shopify apps that dropshipping stores use to do this is the Spin to Wheel app. This works on another scientifically proven conversion method, curiosity. When shoppers see this pop-up, not only are they driven to enter their email to get a bargain, but they're driven to satisfy their curiosity and find out which bargain they'll get. 3. Give away free products with a buy one, get one free offer. It's pretty debatable to try to figure out which is the most iconic brand in the world. Maybe it's Disney, maybe it's Starbucks, maybe it's McDonald's, or maybe it's Coca-Cola. In 1886, Coca-Cola was an unknown soda company. Its creator, John Pemberton, wanted to boost the soda's fledgling sales. His bookkeeper, Frank Robertson, came up with a genius idea: give away thousands of vouchers to potential customers that would entitle them to one free drink. And it worked. Coca-Cola kept the promotion going for years. Between 1894 and 1913, an estimated 1 in 9 Americans had received a free Coca-Cola. This voucher is credited as being the first ever coupon created, and it's believed to be a big part of how Coca-Cola came to be the giant it is today. But Coca-Cola's innovative marketing strategy didn't just show the power of coupons and special offers, it also showed the power of one word, and that word is free. In 2012, a team of researchers at the University of Minnesota's Carlson School of Management conducted a study to see what shoppers prefer more, getting a discount or getting something for free. The researchers offered two offers. Offer A, a bottle of hand lotion with a percentage discount. Option B, a bottle of hand lotion that came bundled with a bonus free bottle. The result, the research sold 73% more hand lotion with offer B. As I've said before on this channel, free, free, free. Everybody loves free. So why does everybody love the word free? Well, it turns out that when we get something for free, we actually value it more than if we had paid for it. As the behavioral scientist Dan Ariely observed, consumers perceive the benefits associated with free products as higher. People appear to act as if zero pricing of a good not only decreases its cost, but also adds to its benefits. So how can you implement free offers in your own online store to make more money? Simple. Create your own buy one get one free coupons and test them against discount coupons to see if it's more effective than a straight discount. The Spin to Win Shopify app is a great way to test this in a dropshipping store. Inside the settings, you can set it so 50% of people win the discount coupon and 50% of people win your free item coupon, and you can see which ends up being the most effective. 4. They trick you with volume bonuses to think that you are getting a better deal. Remember that study that showed that consumers reacted better to that buy one get one free deal? Well, those researchers decided to dig a little deeper. Yes, the word free is extremely powerful, but could there be another reason why these offers work so well? And yes, it did indeed turn out that there was. Quite simply, most of us can be easily tricked into being really bad at maths. After their initial test, the researchers decided to run a new one. This time, they took a group of undergraduates and gave them 2 offers. Offer A, a bag of coffee beans with a 33% price discount. Offer B, a bag of coffee beans with 33% extra beans. The results? Students as a whole viewed them as an equally great deal, even though they were not an equally great deal. Let me show you. Let's take this 100-gram bag of coffee beans that normally cost $10. If we apply a 33% price discount to it, it now costs $6.70. That means that each gram of beans now costs just 6.7 cents. Now let's take that same original bag of coffee beans that cost $10 for 100 grams, but this time we'll bump up its volume by 33%. So now it costs $10 for 133 grams of beans. If you do the maths, that works out to be 7.5 cents per gram of beans. You see, the reason why these intelligent students, who are probably way smarter than me, made this simple mistake is because of the fact that they saw the same number, 33, and their brains go, oh, 33% discount versus 33% increase in volume, that's the same thing, right? Well, no, it absolutely is not. It's kind of like an optical illusion. Check this one out. It's the Poggendorf illusion. See that black line? It looks like it lines up with the blue one, doesn't it? Well, actually, it doesn't. It adds up with the red line, not the blue line. It's things like this that show how easy it can be for marketers like me to trick your brains into thinking that you're getting a great deal, even though you're not, or at least not as great of a deal as it initially appears. 5. They use prestige pricing instead of decimal pricing. So this is a trick that has worked its magic on me and made me spend more money than I probably should. So I've got to admit, I'm quite a big fan of Burberry. And I'm sure some Brits will disagree with me here, but I love the classic check pattern. Here is the Burberry website. Now I've got a question for you. There's something rather strange about the store compared to most other clothing stores. Can you figure out what's so unusual about it? I'll tell you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the strange thing about the Burberry website is that they don't use decimals in their pricing. There is no $489.99 here. And here is the thing, Burberry are the rule, not the exception. If you go to other luxury clothing brands, you'll see the same pricing strategy. Man, I love that note there. Complimentary shipping and returns. Yeah, for $5,700, I should hope so. Now the reason why they do it isn't just so that they can be different for the sake of being different. They're not being hipster. The reason why they do it is because the types of people like me who are buying their clothing are doing that based on feelings. We aren't doing it as a strategic choice. The 2014 study, This Number Just Feels Right, explains why. When we see a decimal price such as $489.99, our brains struggle to process that number quickly, and so to compensate, our brains tap into their cognition mode to try to logically evaluate it, often poorly. Because we don't process it very well, decimal pricing often leads our brains to think that these are cheaper than they are. On the flip side, when we see a rounded number like $490, there are no tricks. Our brains very easily process it and understand it. But the flip side is that because our brains aren't distracted by trying to evaluate the price, not only does it feel right when we look at it, but our feelings and emotions come to the forefront of our decision making. I can't remember how much I paid for this t-shirt. It was probably about $300. It's a pretty high quality t-shirt, I will say. But considering that you can get high quality t-shirts for a fraction of the price, this was not a great deal. value-wise. Burberry know that they're not going to win me over and make me spend money by using pricing tricks to hide the fact that this costs $300. There's no way that you can hide that. Instead, they go all in on the fact that they know the real reason why I'm going to buy this t-shirt is based off emotions and feelings. And it's luxury brands that benefit the most from using this pricing strategy, and that's why it has the name prestige pricing. For most of my subscribers who are watching this video who are running their own online stores, you are unlikely to be targeting the luxury shopper, so you should avoid this pricing strategy and stick to decimal pricing. But it can be confusing when you launch a store and you see other types of shops using different pricing strategies, and you might think, Burberry used that, should I use that as well? Well, now you know that no, you shouldn't. Thanks for watching this video, and if you would like to start your own online money-making store, but you don't know how, then you should be sure to download our free ebook, The 6 Steps That Online Stores Follow to Make Over $10,000 a Month, and you'll find a link to how you can download that in the video description below.